Hello everyone. Yeah, welcome to my channel. This is my very first video. So you're very lucky to be watching this at this moment. Okay, my name is Peter Kolawole, and today I'm going to be sharing about how faith led me to securing a fully funded scholarship here in the United Kingdom. Hey, my goodness. And trust me, this is not just a story about educational journey. Like, I know, right, that you've watched so many videos how to get fully funded scholarship, how to this is not one of those videos. Trust me, this is just me telling you now so you can get prepared, because this is a life-changing opportunity. And I'm not just telling you how how I applied, how I wrote my essays. You can easily get all these informations online. So just stay tuned, stay with me, and I'm going to walk you through my own journey. And of course, this is my own journey, and I believe that by sharing my journey, you might be, and I use the word carefully, you will not even might, you will be inspired, to probably maybe you're at a stage in your life and you felt probably you're getting tired, you're getting like people day by day as regards the journey. I know it can be daunting, right? Trust me, I applied to more than 20 schools in the United States. Yeah, 20 schools. Yeah, and you know what that means in United States then and all of that. Don't worry, just stay tuned. I'm going to be giving you full details. Okay, so how did the story actually begin? And just a little bit about me. Like I said, my name is Peter Kolawole, and I'm currently studying for my MBA here at the University of Strathclyde Business School. And I'm a Stephen Young Global Leader. By the end of this video, you will know what that means. And even in the next couple of weeks or months, you yourself will become a Stephen Young Global Leader. So I'm married, legally married, of course, and I'm a father. Okay, let's go now to the meat of the discussion for today. I don't want to get you distracted. Okay, how did it start? So my journey actually started about a few years ago, roughly, about 4 years ago. That's around 2023, 2022, and all of that. I've always, wanted to, like, I knew that I'm not going to stay in my country. Okay. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention my country. Of course, you know where I came from. So I came from, I'm from Nigeria. For those that, that are still trying to guess. So you don't try to guess. I'm from Nigeria. So my story, like I said, the journey started some years back. I've always known that I'm not going to be staying in the country, but the how is what was not yet clear to me then. The how, sometimes we just know that this thing is not for me, this place is not for me. It can even be a job, and you know that this job now, like in the next couple of months or years, I'll be doing something else, but it's not yet, that next part is not yet clear to you. So as at then, what was getting clearer to me was, I think I'm going to I'll go for Canada. I'll go for Canada. I'll write the Canada conversion exam, because back then in Nigeria, I was a pharmacist. I was practicing as a pharmacist. I studied pharmacy in my undergraduate from Obafemi Awolowo University. From Obafemi Awolowo University, OAU. So, okay. So I was thinking, I believe that it's Canada that I should go for. What if I just write the licensing exam and, just become a Canadian pharmacist? Canadian pharmacist. So of course, now I'm not a Canadian pharmacist. You should know that, right? So I began the process. I started to, do my research, and that's one thing about me. I love to do research. I can, even before the LLM, ChatGPT came, like I disturb Google, and I'm sure some of you are in that stage now, but I think it's maybe kind of easier for you guys because you can easily use some prompts and all of that. But at that time, you have to disturb Google. You really have to. So doing research about PBC, like PBC is the licensing exam, to get your license as a pharmacist in Canada. I already had the one in Nigeria. So I saw that the process is kind of the cost for me, and also it's kind of daunting. It's not feasible, because I learned that one of the exams, you have to go to Canada to write the exam and come back to your country. So to me, I didn't see that as something feasible. I had to close that journey. But and the second option that has always been on my mind also, it's about it's MBA. Yeah, and that's one thing about me. I like to just focus, like, right. I love focus. I'm not a kind of person that, okay, if MBA does not work, I'll try MSc. If MSc does not work, I'll try PhD. If PhD does not work, I will try MR. Is it MRES? So I've always known, that's one thing that also my friend knows, like they know me for, like MBA every year. Every, like, my conversation, everything around me revolves around that vision that, okay, I want MBA, right? I really want MBA. MBA, I want you. MBA, I want you. But MBA didn't want me. Okay, so I'm going to cut this part of the video. I just want to ensure that we are on set, like it's, I'm recording right. Okay, so, like, I've always wanted MBA, but it seemed like as if MBA did not want me. So how did the journey? Okay, I've started how the journey started. So I wouldn't. So I stopped that part of, Canada stuff. Like, I knew that this is not for me. Let's be realistic. And one thing I was doing at each stage was to hear from God. Hearing from God is a process. Of course, I'm still developing, but I'm not where I used to be then. Like, I was always paying attention to that. God, do you want me to go to Canada? Do you want me to this? Do you want me to that? So I started applying for scholarship. Since I knew that I'm not gonna go on the route of being licensed as a Canadian pharmacist, I began to go on the route of scholarship for MBA. And like I said, I did research. And guess what? You can guess the kind of research I was doing. I was looking for school that will give me a fully funded scholarship without having to write GRE, IELTS. For those of you that don't know, GRE is a graduate record examination, like just to check your readiness and, your readiness for graduate admissions and all of that. And it involves cont and verbal. So an IELTS is a proficiency exam, just like TOEFL as well. So I was looking for, because when I was doing the research, one thing that kept reoccurring, like a constant K, was GRE, especially for schools in the United States of America. Wow, like GRE, do I have to write GRE? I searched and searched and searched and searched. Honestly, I couldn't. Though some school will promise you, they will tell you that you can apply, you can apply even without GRE, you can. But one thing that is sure is that they will give you admission, right? But forget about scholarship. Or if after they want to give you scholarship, it will be very, very low and minimal. And for me, remember my goal: fully funded scholarship. Even if it is 90, I don't want, because I can't afford it. So I'm really happy for this lady. Her name is Fisayo Grace. If you are watching this video now, or if you get to watch this video later, like, I'm really grateful, because that became a turning point for me. Yeah, it became a turning point for me. You can check our video also on YouTube, Grace Fisayo. Like, just type how she got a fully funded MBA, and type her name, you should be able to find the video, because it became a turning point for me. And that's one of the reasons why I'm even recording this video. Why? Because after searching, after months of searching, after several months of searching, weeks of searching, night and day, I just stumbled upon a video and how she got her own fully funded MBA scholarship to study in Arizona State University. So as I was watching the video, I was just getting so inspired. What I was trying to run from, GRE, she wrote it. She did everything necessary. So I began to think, like, this is a lady, like, wow, she's very young as well. So what is stopping me? What is stopping me? Oh my God. So it was then that I had God, like, this thing that she's doing, like the content that she released and all of that, that you'll be doing it also in a couple of years. Wow. I recorded it because one thing about me is that when God speaks to me, and that's why I said how faith led me to this. So see, I'm not just talking about scholarship, like my journey, like it's like my journey, like my real journey right now. So I recorded it and I wrote it down, like, this is what God wants me to to do. But I really do not know how, because I told you that I was trying to run away from GRE, because I think, was it before then or after that I tried, okay, what does this GRE even entail? I finished from Obafemi Awolowo University, of course. So I finished with distinction. So what's in GRE? So that's just let me test run. Let me do a prep. Because they will advise you that, oh, do a prep test before you even start to study. And so I started the prep, got an online test. Like, when I began to see the vocabularies from the verb, I became instantly discombobulated. So might be that's one of the GRE vocabularies, and I felt my result was very poor then. Like, when I did the prep, I was like, no, this is not, I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm not. That was before I watched a video. Like, I was like, I'm not going to do this. Immediately I turned back to the Canada route. Like, I think it's Canada. It's Canada. That's, sometimes when God is speaking to you about, this is your next journey, this is the next step, there is always a temptation, like an alternative. And that alternative looks kind of easier, like, compared to the one that God really wants for you. See, if God really wants it for you, an aspect of it will require like a journey of faith. An aspect of it will require a dependence on Him. So most time we just want to go on a easier path, like, oh, this one is easy. This one doesn't even, I don't want something that would stress me. I don't want something that will. No. Not even when God has positioned you to be a global person, and everyone has been positioned to and has been destined for greatness. Even as a believer, you have been destined for greatness. So, okay. Now let's get back to the. So I felt like, this is not, I can't do this. So until I watched a video, it was when I watched a video that I made up my mind that whatever it will cost me to write GRE. Oh my God. Whatever it will cost me to write GRE, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. And it was at that point that I also pitched the idea to a partner, to a friend, that let's write GRE. And that's one thing that that has really helped me. The scripture says two is better than one, or two are better than one. Like, it has really helped me. Find a partner that is also going in the same line, the same lane. Those are the kind of people that should be in your cycle, right? Yeah, like you are going in the same direction. So, because there will be days that you feel inspired, but there are some days that you will be done. So I got a partner that's also interested, and we started the journey of the preparation. I got the Magosh, the Manhattan, Baron, each other one, and videos, Greg, and GRE tutors, and I was doing self-preparation. I prepared for several months. I prepared. I studied for hours daily. I finished all the Manhattan series. Was it Manhattan? Yeah. I finished all the Manhattan series, all the Con series. I finished it. I prepared. I really prepared. That's just the truth. And so, and it was also that time that So it was that time that the GRE became we had a short version. They have a revised version of GRE. So because before it was usually longer, you know, but during my time it was in 2023 that, so I was part of the first set to write the revised version of GRE. I don't know, maybe it worked for me or it didn't work for me, but because even though like I prepared so well, but my result was not something that was so satisfactory for me. Of course, I had something relatively high in my cons. I had like once I had 160 actually, but my verbal I didn't really like so much what I got in verbal because the way I've prepared, like really. So I leave you guys to guess my score. I'm not gonna tell you. Okay, so after that, I began to apply to schools. Guys, I thought, okay, sorry. I wrote IELTS then. I stopped at the middle of GRE preparation and I spent like a month and wrote IELTS. Like I told you, like anything that it will cost me, I'm gonna go for it. And oh my goodness, I just remember what happened on my IELTS days. Let me tell you guys the story. What actually happened during my IELTS during the session when I was writing the exam. You know, the listening section requires us to be very, very attentive, right? Like they will give you headset, and you just have to follow, like distinctively, attentively, like with you pour your mind there. But I didn't know what happened. Maybe I just looked somewhere within seconds, and it's actually universal. Like everyone in the hall is listening to the same thing at the same time. So I didn't know what happened, how I got distracted. I really do not know. By the time I looked back to the paper, oh my goodness, I was lost. At that point, something was telling me that, why can't you just stand up and go back home? Yeah. Nigerian people will call it, where I came from, they'll call it village people. And at the same time, I remember the money I paid. Like, no, I can't go. I began to fight that. That of everything I'm telling you within that, it happened within seconds, you know. So that's just to tell you, like, some of the things that I passed through. Because sometimes when people say you're out there, maybe, oh, I got a fully funded scholarship. Sometimes we don't tell this full story. Like, you don't know what people have passed through. You don't know what they, and you begin to tell them that, oh, you're just lucky. You're lucky. Even if it's luck, call it luck, call it grace, call it favor, there's still a level of preparation, like grit, determination, discipline. Okay, so guys, I began to apply to schools in the US. I applied to several schools. Like I thought, since I have GRE now, oh, let me just start to apply to schools. Trust me, I applied to more than 20 schools in the United States alone, but I didn't get fully funded scholarship for any of them. And when I say 20 schools, you know what that means. Like 20 schools, like for some of you that have already started the process, you know what it entails to apply to just a school, your letter, your essays, your what's it called, you get recommendation. Some school will require you to get like up to 3 recommenders, and like I did this for like 20 schools in the United States alone, and the highest scholarship I got was 50%. Oh my goodness. So after that, I tried Canada. I now tried Canada. That was early last year, 2025. Now, since it seems US is not in for, they're not ready for me. I tried Canada as well, but I didn't get fully funded. I was getting admission, I was getting scholarship, but I wasn't getting fully funded. So at that point, I made up my mind that, okay, probably maybe I will find a way to make myself even more competitive. Let me write GRE again. Oh, I was ready to do whatever it cost me. So I began to prepare for GRE again, but something happened. Something actually happened, and this is what led me here today. There was one time that I was okay. It was on Sunday, like it was just this fateful day. I was sleeping, and I had a dream, and in that dream, I remember calling my my dad and my uncle, and I was telling them, I was sharing testimony with them in that dream that, oh, they've selected me, they've done this, they said I'm good. And I woke up. When I woke up, I just checked my WhatsApp and I saw that someone that I know in the UK has sent me a link to Stephen Young Global Scholarship. And like I said, Stephen Young is a scholarship that's led up to like five exceptional students every year. And when I say exceptional students, don't just exclude yourself that, oh, besides you are exceptional. Yeah, just check it. Like, go to the website, type Stephen Young, and you read more about it. You just find out that you are qualified for this, and don't just exclude yourself just because of maybe one requirement and all of that. Yeah, especially if you have made impact, you have contributed to sustainability and all of that within your country, you have impacted your society. Apply. It won't cost you anything. So at that point, I looked at it. Of course, since I've been applying to schools, and what should be my normal response? It's just to neglect it. But I felt this won't cost me anything. It won't cost me anything. I have to apply to the school to get admission for MBA. Don't let me get mixed up. So you apply to the school. The school will give you a conditional admission. So after they've given you a conditional admission, that's when you now apply for the Stephen Young. So I applied for the Stephen Young. So they go back to me after some weeks, and they sent me an email that, I told you that they only select 5 students. I got the email that, oh, sorry, I'm among the top 20, but not the top 5. And you know what that means? Because of that, oh no, I love Stephen Young. I said, because of that, like, we're not going to be giving you fully funded scholarship. We're going to be giving you full half tuition. They're going to, again, I felt like, again, half tuition. No, United Kingdom, pounds to naira. No, it's not gonna work. Half tuition, United Kingdom, pounds to naira. No. Do you know what I did? Just guess. I deleted the email, and when I say I deleted the email, I'm not trying to be to be disrespectful to the institute, and I appreciate it, but I knew that this is not for me. Like, this is not my email. No, I'm going to get my own email. Like, I'm really going to get my own email. And I really did get my own email. Like, was it a week after that they sent another email? It was, call it miracle. Yes, it is. And that's why I call it the journey of faith. So they sent me another email that, if I'm still interested in the scholarship, that I can book for interview in the next couple of days. Immediately, oh my goodness, I booked the interview. I began to apply. I remember telling my mom then that if it is fasting you want to fast, if it is anything you want to do, just do. Like, let me do my own from here. So I prepared. I'm not sure I've ever prepared for any interview like that. Oh my goodness, I really prepared. But something happened during the interview day. My goodness. On the interview day, I was in the office. Like I said, I've prepared. I was in the office. So the panel was, I think the panel was like made up of 4 members. Was it like the first question I was asked? I've mastered everything. Like, I've been doing interviews, so I know what they ask. Tell me about your background. Tell me this. They ask some behavioral questions, and I'm like, I've become interview expert. Hey, the first question that I didn't even prepare for it. And one thing I've learned also when it comes to interview is to learn to speak as you're inspired. Yeah. So of course I was almost, but what happened was I remained calm. I tried to answer the best way I could. Like, I really tried my best to answer the best way I could, and look at this and that. But something happened. The network became so disrupted. Like, there was a lot of technical glitch. I think we're using, was it Google Meet or Team? Like, it was logging me out. Like I said, I don't know what you call that. It was logging me out. It logged me out for about 4 times or 5 times during like this is a global interview. This is like my last opportunity. And this, I've never felt overwhelmed. I've never felt, like I felt so overwhelmed. I was sweating. AC was there, everything. I was sweating. I was sweating profusely. And I tried my best to stay calm, to stay composed as a leader. But trust me, it was a difficult moment for me. Like it was, but one thing I kept telling myself was that no, this is just me walking on the water. And God can make you to walk on the water. But when you're walking on water, storm can come, other things can come to distract you. It's a mere distraction. So it was that mindset that kept me going. But hey, it was not easy. The worst part was they wanted to ask me the last question. As I was about to answer the last question, it logged me out again. The committee just decided that, oh, sorry, we have to move on to the next candidate. When I heard that, guy, I felt so bad. I felt, when you have prepared and you're not able to deliver based on your capability, like you're not able to. I felt bad. So immediately I asked God, what should I do now? Okay, I've done my best. I've tried, and is there any other things to do? And immediately I just felt that leading to send a message to one of the leading like interviewer, like the most senior. So immediately I sent the message that I'm so sorry, it was a technical glitch and it wasn't my fault, and I wish I could do better than this. And see, when it comes to leadership, there are things that I don't know why they selected me, but I know, but there are things that is checked beyond your communication, beyond there are little things that matters that can determine maybe you will be selected. Probably, I'm not saying that's why I was selected. Probably that act alone could be what qualified me, and God allowed it. I sent the message. When I sent the message to her, I got automatic response. Those automatic response, I will tell you that, oh, sorry, this person is on leave. And at that point I knew something I knew something is wrong. But no, God. Despite the fact that I got the automatic response, she replied within a few minutes that, oh, dear Peter, we understand it's not unusual and that. And I was so happy. At least I was relieved. Let me use the word, I was relieved. And we were supposed to get our results, like the outcome, within a couple of days. It was supposed to be on Monday. Oh, let's talk about the results, how I got the results, the outcome. Once that direct word from God. Yeah. So I made up my mind that I'm not going to check my email, because the outcome of the scholarship was supposed to, like I was supposed to get the outcome on Monday. So I made up my mind that until in the evening, I will not check my email. So I did not check my email until 6 p.m. So when it was 6 p.m., I went to check my email, and guess what I saw? My goodness. Because I was already used to saying, we're sorry. When you check email and you see, and it starts with, we are sorry, or we regret to inform you. Which other terms now? Like, don't even bother to, but this email was not like that. This was a life-changing email. Okay, let me read it for you. I think I have it here. Yeah. Dear Peter, I am delighted to inform you. When I saw that, I knew that I've made it. So I'm delighted to inform you that following the scholarship interview, you have been successful in being awarded the Stephen Young Global Leader Scholarship for full-time 2025 MBA and all of that. This award covers full international student fees for the Strathclyde MBA full-time, and a stipend of this amount to cover living costs for the 2025-2026 academic year. My goodness, when I saw this, immediately I called my mom. Was it my mom that I called first, or my wife? Either of them. And it was a turnaround for me. It was a turnaround for me. So why am I sharing this story? I'm not just sharing this story to, to like for self-appraisal or for anything, but I believe there are some lessons that I've learned during the process, and that I believe that as someone that is watching me also need something, like to glean from, like inspiration. But, I told you that one of the videos that I watched from a lady, Fisayo, like inspired me, and that's how I started my own process. So I believe if that's someone is watching me and you need this video as well, I believe you'll be blessed, and you've been blessed already. But much more, the scholarship will be coming up soon. Like I don't know how soon. Like it's going to be open in the next couple of weeks. I've tried to ask the institutes, but I didn't get any direct answer. But you can start to prepare as well. Like reach out to me. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. Like just reach out to me on LinkedIn and we'll talk about. Just tell me that you've watched my video, or if you tell me that you've watched this video and you reach out to me, oh my goodness, even if it is to book one-on-one with you, I will. Okay, so what are the lessons that I learned during this process? So first is that it taught me not to disqualify myself. Like don't disqualify yourself even before you try. Sometimes you try to like, oh, I'm not, I mentioned that they select 5 exceptional students. Don't think I'm not exceptional, I don't have this. There's one thing that makes you to be unique. There's one thing, there's a capability that just look within, like, I don't want to talk too much on that, but I'm sure you got it. Second is that a difficult moment does not mean a failed future. Yeah, a difficult moment does not mean a failed future. That I told you about the technical glitch that happened during the interview process for me. It doesn't mean that I failed. Like I still maintain my skill, like my skills was there, like, but internally there was a lot of disruption, like interruptions. So that's the second thing. Then the third is that preparation really matters. You see, faith and preparation, they go like together, they are mutually exclusive, if that's the word. Yeah, like they go together. It's not that okay, I've prayed, I've done this, it just happen. It won't just happen. Even the scripture says that show me your faith without works, I will show you my faith which works. Yeah, so that matters. I learned that. And finally, your life can change through one application, like just one last step, just one. I told you I couldn't have applied for the scholarship. Like since I've applied to more than 20 schools, 25 schools, I could have just been distracted, like, or discouraged that, oh, this is also one of the scholarship, but just one application. So I thought, okay, what if I did not apply for that scholarship? What if I disqualified myself that, oh, they said, oh, this, no. So just one application can change your life, can change everything about you. And like I said, for anyone that is interested, this scholarship is expected to open again soon in the next few weeks. Start to work on your story. Start to build your application, because I believe your opportunity is closer than you think. Ah, wow. Thank you so much. This is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Um, this is like a new channel. Like I told you, subscribe to my channel, share the video to someone that you may not need scholarship, but someone that's already going through this phase. Try to share the video, because I'll be sharing more on scholarship, on faith, on purpose, and let's build a meaningful future together. Let's make global impact together. This is Kingdom Scholars All. Want to build that, like want to raise a community of scholars that are kingdom minded. So thank you again. I'll see you in the next video.